Angelina Jolie's daughter Zahara Jolie-Pitt has reportedly made a significant decision about the direction of her life, choosing to follow in her mother's footsteps in terms of personal values, humanitarian work, and advocacy for equal rights. This decision, however, has deepened the already strained relationship between Zahara and her father, Brad Pitt. A source recently shared with In Touch Weekly that Zahara is deeply inspired by her mother's long-standing commitment to social justice, charity, and humanitarian causes. Angelina has been known worldwide for her tireless work as a goodwill ambassador for the United Nations and her dedication to advocating for the rights of refugees, women, and children across the globe. Now, Zahara seems determined to carve out a similar path for herself. Zahara has completely embraced Angelina's outlook on life, the insider explained. She's passionate about social justice issues and has developed a strong interest in humanitarian work, just like her mother. It's clear that Zahara sees Angelina not only as a mother but as a role model and an inspiration. However, this shift in Zahara's life has come at the cost of her relationship with Brad Pitt. According to the source, Zahara has consciously chosen to distance herself from her father, which has left Brad heartbroken. Zahara has totally shut Brad out, the insider revealed. But that hasn't stopped Brad from loving her and wanting the very best for her. He's still massively proud of the young woman she's becoming, even though it's painful for him to be so disconnected from her life. A difficult family dynamic. The tensions between Zahara and Brad Pitt are rooted in the broader fallout from Brad and Angelina's highly publicized divorce, which began in 2016 and dragged on for nearly a decade. The divorce was not only complicated by the legal battle over the custody of their 6 children but also by allegations of abuse that surfaced during the process. The insider disclosed that most of Angelina and Brad's children have distanced themselves from their father over the years, a painful reality for Brad. The source explained that Zahara's decision to cut ties with Brad reflects deeper emotional wounds stemming from the divorce and the allegations of abuse. Brad is devastated that Zahara has turned her back on him, the insider said. But he's not angry at her. He actually doesn't blame her. Brad believes that Zahara has been influenced by Angelina's perspective on the divorce and everything that followed. He thinks that over time Angelina's influence has shaped Zahara's perception of him, and that's why she's keeping her distance. Despite the emotional distance, Brad has not given up hope of rebuilding his relationship with Zahara. Another source close to the Troy star revealed that Brad remains hopeful that things will eventually improve. He's holding on to the hope that things will get better, the source said. Brad knows that right now all he can do is watch from a distance. It's incredibly hard for him, but as a parent, the pain is worth it to see his daughter shining so brightly and making a difference in the world. Following in Angelina's footsteps, Zahara's decision to embrace a humanitarian path comes as no surprise to those who know the Jolie-Pitt family well. Angelina has long been an outspoken advocate for human rights, and Zahara has been exposed to her mother's work from a young age. Angelina adopted Zahara from Ethiopia in 2005, when Zahara was just 6 months old. Since then, Zahara has grown up immersed in the world of humanitarian work, traveling with her mother to refugee camps, war-torn regions, and disaster zones. Over the years, Zahara has shown a keen interest in issues related to women's rights, education, and healthcare in developing countries. She has accompanied Angelina on numerous international trips, including visits to Ethiopia, where they have worked on projects to improve access to healthcare and education for women and children. Angelina is getting a lot of credit for nurturing this side of Zahara and creating a young humanitarian, the source shared. And to be fair, she's done a lot to open doors for Zahara. She's clearly the role model for her daughter, and she's proud of that. Indeed, Zahara's interest in humanitarian work has deepened over the years. In 2022, she enrolled at Spelman College, a historically black college in Atlanta, Georgia. Spelman has a long-standing reputation for fostering leadership and activism among young women of color, and Zahara has embraced the school's legacy of social justice and advocacy. At Spelman, Zahara has been involved in campus organizations focused on community service and racial justice. She has also participated in international outreach programs, helping to raise awareness about healthcare disparities and educational inequalities in Africa and other regions. Zahara's heart is in the right place, the insider noted. She's genuinely passionate about making a difference, and she's determined to use her platform and her privilege to help others. Brad's unwavering love. Despite the emotional distance, Brad remains steadfast in his support for Zahara. The source explained that Brad has made numerous attempts to reconnect with his daughter, but Zahara has remained firm in her decision to keep her distance. Brad has reached out to Zahara multiple times, but she's not ready to have that conversation yet, the insider said. It's not that she hates him, it's more about needing space and time to process everything that's happened. Zahara is very protective of her mother, and she feels like keeping her distance from Brad is a way of showing loyalty to Angelina. The source added that Brad understands Zahara's position, even though it's painful for him. He's not going to push her, the source said. Brad knows that forcing the issue would only drive Zahara further away. He's trying to respect her boundaries while letting her know that he's always there for her. Brad has also expressed his pride in Zahara's accomplishments and her commitment to humanitarian work. He tells people all the time how proud he is of Zahara, the insider shared. Even though he's not part of her day-to-day life right now, he takes comfort in knowing that she's doing something meaningful and positive with her life. Angelina's influence and pride. Meanwhile, Angelina remains Zahara's strongest source of support and inspiration. Friends of the family say that Angelina has been instrumental in guiding Zahara's path and encouraging her to explore her interests in social justice and philanthropy. Angelina has always told Zahara that she can do anything she sets her mind to, the source said. She's encouraged Zahara to speak out, to use her voice, and to stand up for what she believes in. That's exactly what Zahara is doing now. The insider added that Angelina is thrilled to see Zahara following in her footsteps. She's incredibly proud of Zahara, the source said. Angelina knows how difficult it's been for Zahara to navigate the fallout from the divorce and the tension between her parents, but she's handled it with grace and maturity. Angelina sees so much of herself in Zahara, and it fills her with pride to see Zahara making her own mark on the world. A complicated future. For now, the future remains uncertain when it comes to Zahara's relationship with Brad. While Brad remains hopeful that time will heal old wounds and that Zahara will eventually find a way to reconnect with him, the emotional scars from the divorce are still fresh.